Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're going to start. We're a little behind. I had no idea so many people were going to be here. Sorry, it's a little crowded. We're trying to grab more chairs. I'm Laura Meisenhelter. I'm the Executive Director of North Shore Community Action Programs, more commonly known as MassCAP. Thank you for coming for the Home Energy Assistance Program kickoff for the season. November 1st marks the first day of the HEAP kickoff season, even though we've been doing applications since, I don't even know when, August we started stuffing envelopes. To tell you a little bit, first of all, welcome to our elected officials, Mayor Betancourt, Representative Jerry Paracella, whom I'm missing, Rick Jacobs is representing, Tom Walsh is hiding behind Garth. Rick Jacobs is here representing Congressman Moulton, whom am I missing? Joan Lovely may come later. No, you're Jones.
Yeah, I'm Chief of Staff. She's right behind me.
Oh, okay, very good. So Joan Lovely will be here too. I also want to acknowledge my staff that are here, the fuel assistance staff. If you would just stand up, because you guys are the ones that do all the work. Also, we have representatives from the AGO's office, the Councils on Aging, our local vendors. All of you, welcome very much. We really are happy that you're here. MassCAP is a community action agency. There are 23 in the state of Massachusetts. I think all of us, pretty much all of us, offer the heating assistance program. And it's like a backbone of community action. What we do is we meet the unmet needs of the community, helping with heat, helping with rent, housing the homeless, providing food assistance, childcare. MassCAP doesn't have childcare, but we certainly refer our clients to childcare and help them get vouchers and assistance with the elderly. Community action does so much. We help immigrants. MassCAP has a robust English for Speakers of Other Languages program. We're in one of our classrooms now. All of our classes are being done remotely today so that we could have the use of this space. But we usually have about 3 or 4 classes going at all times here, Monday through Friday. With that, I think I'm going to introduce Joe Diamond. He's the Executive Director of the Massachusetts Community Action Programs, MassCAP, and he's going to say a few words about the agenda and the program.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you. Thanks, Laura, very much. It's a pleasure for us to be here at North Shore Community Action Programs, one of 23 community action agencies. We've been doing this for a little bit under 10 years now, I think, kicking off heating season, kicking off heating help. And the main objective, of course, is to raise awareness, to bring as many people into the door as we possibly can. But that takes a huge team effort. Laura recognized her team. I would love to recognize our team at MassCAP. On the back to the right, Isabella Dickens-Bowman, who handles our training, Colleen Cullen, who handles diapers and also food, Jackie Gonzalez, who handles tax preparation and other things, and then through the camera to our colleague Lisa Clay, who's a little under the weather, handles everything else. She's our Deputy Director. So can we thank our team for that. I also want to recognize a few people specifically from the AG's office. I know that Benny Mashulam was here a moment ago, but Julian Aris is here. So Julian, thank you for joining us. The AG office is a partner to help with fuel assistance resources through certain actions that it takes, and we love being able to work with the AG's office. I also want to recognize our friends at the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. Amy Stitley will be speaking with a little bit later, who's an undersecretary there, but I also wanted to thank Ed Kiley, who's here. Ed is the manager of community services, and it's with Ed, we work with Ed so closely in the fuel assistance program, and it's an indispensable partnership. I can't say enough, actually, about Ed's work, his expertise, and his flexibility. So not to embarrass you too much, but Ed, thank you very much. We are looking forward to hearing from all of the speakers. We are so appreciative of the elected and appointed officials who are here. And through you all in the state legislature and to your colleagues, thank you for all of your help over the years to hear us about the need not only for federal resources, thank you to the congressman, but also state resources from time to time supplement the federal resources. So we really appreciate that partnership as well. It's so important, and we promise to continue to update both congressmen and representatives, and also the local officials who are here. The mayors play a critical role. I'll end with this, just to say that we are so happy to be, you okay? Yeah. We're so happy to be able to provide fuel assistance and weatherization services across the state. Fuel assistance is not only an economic support program, but we'll learn as we go. It is a health program, it's a safety program, it's a housing preservation program, and it is also a program that allows people to access other programs. If you qualify for fuel, you'll qualify for weatherization. So with that, let me conclude and ask Laura to return to the podium. Yeah.
All right.
Please.
Okay, one of our best community partners, like everybody's a great community partner, what am I saying? But Mayor Ted Betancourt, the mayor of Peabody, is here with us. The city of Peabody has been a fantastic partner with MassCAP for decades. I think MassCAP moved to Peabody in the early 1980s. About 12 years ago, we were looking for a new home, and the mayor and at the time president of the city council did the tag team hard pressed to keep me here, and they helped us find this location where we're at now. So thank you for that. Great rent, let me tell you. But the mayor and the city of Peabody are wonderful partners for MassCAP, and so I'd like to invite the mayor to come on up and say a few words.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today as we kick off the Fuel Assistance Program. And I want to give a big thank you to Laura and the whole team here at MassCAP for the important and meaningful work that all of you do. You all make a difference. I just wonder if folks like you weren't there and organizations like this that weren't there to help people where we would be. So thank you for that work. You've been a terrific community partner. Time and time again, we get calls at our office on a daily basis looking for some assistance, looking for some help. And MassCAP has been a lifeline for the city of Peabody and for so many across our community. And I want to thank all of you for that important work, and very happy to be here with all of you as we kick off this program. So thank you so much.
And now I'm going to introduce our Fuel Assistance Director, Margie DeWeese-Boyd, and that's Margie with a hard G, please. Margie has been a wonderful addition to our team. This is her second season. She started on October 1st last year, and boy, did she hit the ground running. She learned fast. She took advice and direction from so many people who are sitting in this room, and I think it's fair to say her staff love her, love working with her, and I'm certainly happy she's here. So Margie DeWeese-Boyd.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for that. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. As Laura said, my name is Margie DeWeese-Boyd, and I'm the Home Energy Assistance Program Director. And I know that Laura highlighted my team earlier, but I'd like to call them out by name because they make the magic happen. Maria Carrasquillo, Karen Mahoney, Lucy Garcia, Linda Manning, Lauren LeBlanc, and I think Steph is downstairs, and Steph Bueno is downstairs, like, still manning the front. So I want to quickly tell you two things about home energy assistance you may not know. First, the income eligibility guidelines are really generous. Households that make up to 60% of the state median income can qualify. And for a family of four, that's over $94,000. Secondly, with just one application, you can qualify for not only energy assistance, but also weatherization services, heating system repair services, and really great discounts through National Grid for your utility bills. Last year, NASCAP's Home Energy Assistance Team was privileged to serve 7,000 residents in our 7 towns. So, go team. I like to call them Team Awesome. But we'd love to see that number even higher. So To you out there, please find out if you qualify. Tell your family, friends, and neighbors to see if they qualify. This is a great program. You can apply in person. You can come into NASCAP. We'd love to see you. You can call us. You can apply online. I have some flyers with this handy QR code to help you do that quickly. And we'd love to have you apply. Spread the word. And with that said, I'd like to turn our attention to the reason we're all here, and that's the constituents and customers we serve. And we have one of our wonderful customers here, Kathleen Wilkinson. So she's going to come up and speak for a minute.
I certainly can't reach this, so I'll just talk. My name is Kathleen, and I live in Salem. I'm 78 years old, and I can't wait to get to Treadwell's today for an ice cream. I live by myself in Salem, and because of MassCAP, I have a better life. 2 years ago, I fully retired, and I found that I couldn't make ends meet. It was the first time in my life that I felt like I needed some help, and I got on my knees and asked God, send me some help. I don't know what to do because my income wasn't going to increase the rest of my life, and I needed some help. I found myself just not being able to make ends meet. Well, God always helps when I ask. So I found a Council on Aging monthly newsletter, and it talked about this place, NASCAP, that I knew nothing about. And I read it, and I thought, maybe that would be a help because the bills are terrible from National Grid, and it was keeping me from doing other things. So I got up the courage to come in here 2 years ago and was met by Lauren. She happened to be up by the front counter. Now I came in humble and scared and unsure. Are they going to help me? Should I even be here? And Lauren was at the desk, and she treated me like I was a friend, like I was good enough to be here, and like, wow, you know, this was amazing. So I told her my story, that I just couldn't make ends meet. And she said, we can help you. And we did the paperwork, and Lauren followed through. And today, I have money to spend. I went to Topsfield Fair. That's something I couldn't do without NASCAP helping me. You have no idea what you have done for my life. I went to Topsfield Fair, and I could spend that money because I'm not spending it on my heat. I can go out for lunch with my friend. I'm not spending that money on heat. I'm so, so grateful. So I'm really just here to say thank you so much for what you're doing for my life. You have no idea the difference it makes. I know you all work hard. I'm hearing more and more today. I'm one of 7,000 people, and I'm treated like I'm special, you know, that I matter. And I'm very grateful to all of you for having me and for helping me.
Well, Senator Lovely, you're right on time. You want to catch your breath before I call you and Representative Walsh and Rep. Paracella up? So we have, NASCAP serves Peabody, Beverly, Danvers, and Salem. So we have a lot of elected officials to support us. Not all could be here, but I am going to call all three of you who are here up together, and you can fight amongst yourselves about what you want to say. But I'd like to welcome Senator Joan Lovely, Representative Jerry Paracella, my personal representative, and Representative Tom Walsh from Peabody.
Go home turf.
That's right.
Somebody offers me a microphone, I never refuse. Good morning, everybody. I just want to say thank you for all the work that all of you do. This is really a classic example of partnership, when you have the federal government, state government, local government, and the agencies all working together, really for the betterment of our constituents, our residents. Very powerful comments. I do have to disappoint you. I'm not the guy who owns the ice cream stand, but, but I don't blame you for going there. But you know, when you think about it, the share of funds that we get here in the Commonwealth is somewhere around $150 million that comes from the federal government. And then that is divvied up among the different community action programs. And just hearing that there are 7,000 residents in just 7 communities is really amazing. And you think about the last couple of weeks, we've been spoiled this fall with fairly warm weather, but those cold mornings, they were cold, and they're kind of a wake-up call to us that, winter is coming. And think about it. Think how we felt, how we were cold. Think about those who can't afford to heat their homes. And that's just amazing. So, the work that you do really is beneficial to everybody across our region and the Commonwealth, and we thank you for it. And thank you to every one of you who's dedicated to this cause. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Laura and Joe and everybody who does this work. I knew Lauren when she was this tall, so it's great to see hear about the great work that you're doing. Kathleen, it's great to hear your story, because when we vote on the state budget, it's this thick document and there's all these numbers in there, and what do those numbers mean? And they mean that we're helping people get through their daily lives. So to hear you talk about the impact that the fuel assistance and other programs has in your life is really meaningful to me. It just makes those numbers come to life. So I just want to, again, thank you all. I mean, I have office hours every other Friday at the Beverly Senior Center, and I'm constantly hearing from people who are having difficulty making ends meet, paying their bills, and to be able to refer them to MassCAP and the assistance that you provide to our constituents is just invaluable. So for everybody here, thank you so much for all you do. Thank you.
Apologies that I'm late, but again, a bevy of thank yous to all of you for everything that you do, from the City of Peabody, MassCAP, our federal counterparts, Congressman Moulton, and of course our delegation. We are so fortunate to be working so closely together for our communities, to be able to make the numbers add up, make the impact match, because we hear every single day the biggest calls to our offices is housing insecurity. And how am I going to heat my home? How am I going to afford to stay in my home? Whether you're a renter or an owner, and then of course we're looking at food prices that just don't want to come down, and it's been difficult for everybody. So the fact that you are a phone call away, whether it's a call to us and then to you or directly to you, you're here, all of you, boots on the ground. Thank you for everything you do, every call that you answered, everyone that you can help. We're all in this as a strong partnership, and really proud to be part of that partnership. Thank you.
You're here. You didn't leave. I would also now like to invite Rick Jacobs, who's the Chief of Staff for Congressman Moulton's office. He's probably going to run out right after his words. He's going out on the campaign trail. So, Rick Jacobs.
Thank you, Laura. I'm really here wearing 2 hats, one as the Chief of Staff to Congressman Seth Moulton, but also as a member of the Board of Directors of MassCAP. So I'm here on behalf of, I think, the Board of Directors of all the CAP agencies to talk about how important this program is. I put my puffy vest back on to illustrate a point, because this is the time of year that I am locked in a psychological death match with my wife. I am a New England transplant. She is a hardy New Englander. And she is a firm believer that we do not turn on the heat in the house until we can see our breath. I have a very different philosophy and was wearing this all morning around the house. And what is funny when it's a argument between spouses over when to turn on the heat, it's not at all funny when it's someone who's making that decision in the dead of winter about whether to turn on the heat or afford groceries or the prescriptions for the month. That's not acceptable. And so it's, there are many days, and I'm sure the legislators in the room can commiserate, where you kind of question and say, what am I doing? What am I accomplishing? What's getting done? And there are moments, bright moments, where you really see the impact something has. And the Energy Assistance Program is one of those things every year that we see the real impact it's having for individuals on the ground. This funding is not a foregone conclusion. There are plenty of legislators in other areas of the country have no idea why or what it means to need home energy assistance in the winter. And so the New England delegation fights really hard every year to make sure that this funding continues and hopefully increases. And so it's a real honor to get to meet the folks for whom this makes such a big impact, and we will continue to fight the good fight on your behalf. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Liz Barabee. I'm the Executive Director at Citizens for Citizens, the community action agency in the greater Fall River and Taunton area. And thank you, Laura, for being the hostess today. This is a great crowd. And we love going down. There's a group of us that go down to, it's called LIHEAP Action Day in February and March. And we love to stop in and meet with Congressman Moulton's staff. Sometimes he's very busy, but we do have some pictures of him photobombing us with his staff, and he just makes it in time, so give him regards. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our next speaker, Charlie Herrick. He's a friend and colleague to myself. Charlie is a senior attorney at the National Consumer Law Center, specializing in energy and utility issues. He has been working with our fuel network for over 3 decades. It's probably 4, but that'll show our age, Charlie. Advocating always on behalf of our low-income clients. Charlie was part of the team that pioneered the creation of the utility discount rate and the utility protections that are still in effect today, and that was decades ago. Charlie is still considered the go-to person whenever we have a question regarding the rights and protections of our Massachusetts clients. Charlie, thank you so much for everything you do, and without further ado, please.
Liz and I have been doing this since the Roosevelt administration, and that's the Teddy Roosevelt administration. I have been working for decades with Joe and Liz, and more recently with Andrea Mendoza from ABCD, and Garth, there's Garth from Citizen for Citizens. I want to thank MassCAP and the 23 CAP agencies for what they do, not only on fuel assistance, but housing programs, early childhood education programs, and so much more. And fuel is often the gateway, is how someone gets in the door and finds those other services. Last year, 200,000 people applied for fuel assistance. Just think of what outreach that is for so many other things that the CAPs do. So thank you. It's been one of the best parts of my job to work with the CAPs. I also want to thank Kathleen, because the thing that keeps me motivated to do this, I won't say how old I am, but I'm doing this for a while now, is when I see clients and when I speak to clients, and it really makes a huge difference. So thank you, Kathleen. I'm going to talk about 3 big picture items, if you'll bear with me, because all these other folks do the day-to-day stuff. First, climate change is real. It's going to be 71 degrees today. Great for our clients, but it also means that a program that started as a winter heating assistance program has to start to think about being a cooling assistance program. Fuel assistance started in something that was then called the Northeast Midwest Coalition. Republicans and Democrats. Silvio Conte, a Republican from Western Mass, was one of our biggest supporters. But as the climate warms, we have to start thinking about this fact. Heat is the #1 weather-related killer of people in the United States. You know, we read about the hurricanes, but heat happens across the country many times of the year, and it's going to start to impact people here much more. Second, it tends to impact otherwise healthy people more than the cold. So heat can take down a perfectly healthy young person if we don't protect them from that heat problem. So we have to work with our friends in the federal delegation and state delegation to try to find more money to make this a year-round program. And something you alluded to, yeah, there are parts of the country that don't really support fuel assistance. We need them to get to think about how much they need money for cooling assistance and join with us in how much we need money for heating assistance. Second, we have to worry about how do we bring low-income people into the new energy economy and electrifying everything. When you electrify, meaning putting in an air source heat pump into a currently gas-heated household, the energy bills go up. And I know Andrea and others who do this work know this well. We have to think about how do we have a rate structure where it actually makes sense for a low-income person who heats with gas to electrify. 60% of our clients heat with gas. They're going to be worse off unless we change how rates are structured. And lastly, I just want to talk about the thing that I spend an awful lot of my time on and my colleagues at NCLC. How do we keep people from losing their utility service? So if I can share with you some numbers. As of July 2024, 114,000 low-income customers were behind on their bills, up 29% from 2020. And on average, each of those households who's behind, they owe $1,055, and that's up 48% from 2020. And when it's not the winter moratorium, when low-income people don't get terminated, 600 to 1,200 low-income customers are being terminated each month. We do have a good remedy before us, or at least a tool to think about remedies. The Department of Public Utilities opened up a so-called affordability docket, and I encourage all of you to weigh in with your own voices. We have some of the best commissioners we've ever had on low-income issues in the 40 years I've been doing this work. We have the opportunity to do something to stem that tide of low-income termination. So again, thanks to the CAPs, thanks to all of you. Glad to be here with you.
Thanks very much, Charlie, and thank everybody who's spoken so far and those who will speak to touch on a variety of aspects of this program. It is a big program. We receive resources from the federal government and often from the state government. We serve about 150,000, 160,000 any given year households across the Commonwealth. We serve people who heat with oil, gas, and electricity. And that enterprise, that huge enterprise, with 20 of our 23 agencies, hundreds of staff, et cetera, is one that we work on in partnership with the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. Amy Steitley is here today and will speaking in a second. Amy is the Undersecretary of Strategy and Climate at HLC. And before that role, she worked at its predecessor agency, DHCD, handling housing initiatives, rental initiatives, leading those, also economic opportunity initiatives. And before that, she was involved with sustainability work at MIT. And before that, she was a trained architect. So very versatile. And now we are so pleased for her to come join us. So Amy, please.
Hi, I didn't know you were going to do that, Joe. It's great to see you all. I am in a new role at the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. There's never been an Undersecretary of Strategy and Climate. I was appointed to that position in March. It's exciting. I get to work with Ed, who you all applauded. And that means that we can sort of tackle not only our housing insecurity issues, our basic service issues, but also our climate issues all together in one place. And it's my job to make sure that I'm working across our own secretariat and with the other secretariats and the climate chief and Office of Environment and Energy and Affairs and the DPU and everyone else to make sure that we're all kind of rowing in the right direction. So that's who I am. I did want to thank MassCAP for putting on this event. While I'm a newcomer, I realized that this has been going on a long time and that HEAP itself is celebrated, was it a 43-year-old birthday? I believe 1981. How do I know this? There were cool videos on LinkedIn saying happy birthday, LIHEAP. Notice we dropped the LI, the low income part of LIHEAP, and I believe Margie mentioned, like, home heating, home energy assistance is not just for low income people, it's for anyone who is struggling to meet their bills. So it is just the home energy assistance program. And we're happy to wish it a 43rd birthday. In addition, you might have seen Governor Healy, my big boss, on LinkedIn, also kicking off the heating season in a video recently, a huge supporter of the program. So 150,000 people, 7,000 here. Actually, HEAP touches more households than any other program at HLC on a annual basis. So why we are known for our core mission of building housing, preserving housing, keeping the shelter system running, and homelessness prevention. In terms of actual households and lives touched, like Kathleen's, it's actually the largest program in terms of scale. And we couldn't do it without our Community Action Agency partners. So the most important thing to know is how you apply. And yes, Margie already mentioned it, but from the state side, mass.gov/HEAP, H-E-A-P. And that's the best way to kind of get some information. If you have questions, obviously walk into NASCAP or any of the other community action agencies. And just know that these are grants. They don't need to be repaid. They're not loans. And it's a great program. And as we do address our climate needs, changes, realities, we will be thinking a lot and talking about, we already are, about what the cooling program may look like in the future. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
You've heard a lot of people talk about how important the partnerships are for the work we do. Community action agencies could not do what we do without our community partners. And in home energy assistance, one of the community partners we rely a lot on are the councils on aging. And they get the word out. They really get the word out. They do intakes for us. They're just a really great resource. And we have a star here, and Lisa Westrate. She's a social service outreach coordinator for the Danvers Council on Aging, and I'd like to invite her up now.
Hi, I'm Lisa Westrate. I'm the social service outreach coordinator for the Senior Center in Danvers, and I have been there for 10 years. And what I wear many hats and do many different types of jobs in my role, but one of the main things is connecting the seniors in the community with resources that they're eligible for. And often one leads to another, and it's an ongoing relationship, and I see people year after year. And one of those benefits that I help people with, among food stamps and senior housing and veteran benefits and Medicare, is fuel assistance. And it's one of my favorite benefits because, as Margie said, it is generous. And so there are people that they come in and they're on Mass Health and they're eligible for all these things because their income is so low. But then there's this other bracket of pretty low income people that nothing seems to be available for them. And then they find out, oh, I thought that was just for low income people. And they don't consider themselves low income, but they do meet the qualifications, and it provides a lot of relief. And even if they are not behind on their heat bills, they may be struggling with other things, maybe paying their mortgage, and this offsets that cost. As Kathleen said, she was able to go out to eat, or the Topsfield Fair, and sometimes there are just, I may not be able to help with this car repair you have, but I can help offset that cost with helping you with your heating bill. So, and then I'm not sure how it works on the legislative end and the budget, but there's money that ends up coming in the spring, and then often that money gets applied towards electric bills, and it's like Christmas in July. and people are always grateful, and my experience with MassCAP has been wonderful. Over the 12 years, I've worked with 3 different directors of the Fuel Assistance Program, or Home Energy Assistance Program, and we've had increasingly better working relationship and communication, and I appreciate the willingness to cooperate and collaborate, and I feel that I just feel like there are constituents or clients are served better because of our working relationships. So I'm honored to be in this position, and I thank you for letting me be involved.
Thank you, Lisa. Another group of community partners that we really rely on are our heat providing vendors, from the big national grid organizations to municipal utilities to our deliverable vendors, people that deliver oil and kerosene and propane. And so we have here today one of our wonderful community partners in Mariel Stalker, and she works for Stalker Oil Company, and I'm going to invite her up now.
Thank you all for having me here today. My family's home heating oil business has worked with NASCAP and the other community action partners since the inception of the program. As retailers, we've really watched the organization build and evolve over time. I want to thank the elected officials, especially Representative Walsh, for helping to move along this electronic delivery receipt bill that's moving its way through the legislation. That's going to help us streamline how we can deliver the tickets to our customers, which will also help us file for fuel assistance in a more timely fashion. And it just helps everyone keep the process moving. So I really appreciate that. It's always been important that we stay involved in this community-based program in order to support those that need the assistance. Home energy assistance can make a real difference for our customers. I've seen it mean the difference between heat or food for elderly patrons that are on a limited or fixed income. I've also seen it mean the difference between a single mother being able to afford heating her home or buying her kids' school clothes. Excuse me. I've seen customers who were not even aware that the program existed receive assistance upon our encouragement to them to apply, and their accounts can go from delinquent and overdue to current in a matter of weeks. Makes a huge difference. Working with NASCAP allows us to deliver a better customer experience. Understanding the way the program works helps us guide the clients through the process of applying, receiving funds and fuel, and ultimately it allows them access to the weatherization program as well. In working with that program, we've helped several customers over the years have their heating systems replaced or repaired, or just a simple cleaning that hasn't been done in 4 or 5 years, just helping to avoid that emergency service call. Continued support for this program is essential to our customers in the region. Not only are we helping to remove the financial burden of heating their homes, we're also helping to relieve the emotional stressors that can come along with these challenges. So I really want to thank you for having us here today, and thank you.
Thanks, Mario. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We are going to, at this point, in the spirit of this partnership, show a video, 2 videos, one from each of our senators with some encouraging words. But as we do that, I just wanted to make a couple points about what Mario said, and in particular about the way that we are able, while working with HLC and with Kyle and his team, to make sure that we sequence the benefits properly, that we understand the differences in terms of delivery of fuel, and we work closely in that sense with oil companies. So thank you so much. Our first video is, of course, one of our champions, along with Rep. Moulton, Senator Markey.
My name is Senator Ed Markey, and I'm just excited to celebrate MassCAP's kickoff to this season's fuel assistance program. As we head into those cold winter months, it is vital that families across the Commonwealth can afford to heat their homes in order to stay warm and to stay safe. It's just so important. So with the rising energy prices and freezing winter weather just around the corner, the importance of funding to help families in need with heating bills could not be more clear. As we see all around the country, increasingly severe weather brought on by climate change will make winters even more challenging. That's why I fought so hard to secure more than $140 million for low-income households in Massachusetts this year through the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, otherwise known as LIHEAP. LIHEAP ensures tens of thousands of Bay Staters get the fuel assistance they need year after year. We have a continuing resolution to fund the government for the next few months, but I will keep fighting to preserve designated funding for this life-saving program through the end of next year. And it's why I introduced the Heating and Cooling Relief Act to expand the LIHEAP program so that all eligible families can get necessary fuel assistance, and to leverage LIHEAP as an investment in climate adaptation and clean energy. It's just so important. And it's why I'm going to continue to fight to support families in Massachusetts by pushing for more LIHEAP funding year after year after year. And for this critical bill to truly end energy poverty. All of this work would not be possible without the advocacy of MassCAP and your incredible network of community-based organizations. Your partnership is indispensable in building resilient and self-sufficient communities across the Commonwealth. I look forward to continuing to work alongside all of you to support and to protect American families. We're going to keep fighting for bigger, bolder LIHEAP investments so that households in every corner of our Commonwealth, every corner of our country, aren't forced to choose between chills and bills. I was there at the inception of the creation of LIHEAP. I fought hard to create it. I'm going to fight hard to preserve it. I'm going to fight hard to expand it because we know the need is there. Thank you all so much for everything that you do every single day. Thank you.
Hello, MassCAP. It is great to join you today. So let me start with this. I am so grateful for all of your work to keep Massachusetts families warm and safe during the coldest months of the year. The reality is that the worsening climate crisis has made winters colder and more severe. And this means that mamas and daddies struggling to afford more expensive heating bills. And that means kids so distracted by the cold that they can't focus on being kids. Your work is so powerfully important so that families have the tools they need to take good care of the people they love. Your work is also helping with our clean energy transition here in the Commonwealth. By investing in sustainable, resilient infrastructure, we can help the planet and our families, lowering energy usage and costs. Massachusetts has always led the way for working families, and we'll continue to do it together. Here in Congress, I fought hard to bring energy savings to Massachusetts residents through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and the Inflation Reduction Act. And I will keep fighting to deliver fuel assistance for families across Massachusetts and across the country. So thank you again for the work you do to support the families in our Commonwealth. I am honored to be your partner in this fight.
Well, thank you. Fuel systems, we've been running fuel systems for so many years. Thanks, Isabella. And we have some traditions, not too many traditions. One of our traditions is to ask Liz Barabee to close this event. Liz actually has been with Community Action for, am I safe in saying 4 decades? Yes?
48 years.
48 years. And has run and has done many things. Now she directs the agency in Fall River and has run fuel systems. And in fact, she and Charlie and Elliot Jacobson, we always regarded as our energy assistance gurus. So let me ask one of our gurus to join us to say hello and goodbye.
Obviously, I was 2 when I started, so I was actually a Head Start child, so yay to Head Start. But I actually started working at my agency on a low-income program when I was 15 as a teenager, and I have never left the agency. And so now I'm the executive director, so I'm very proud to be part of this network. So yes, I am the closer, so you know that the end is near. Unfortunately, you know, the Senator Markey testimony was really great. He is a huge supporter of our program, and in his video, he did say that he was, you know, around from the inception. So the 43 years ago or whatever, he was probably a representative at that point, not a senator, but that's how far back he goes and has supported this program. And he had a cute little catchphrase of, is it going to be chills or bills? Which, you know, which is interesting that he would say that. And of course, Senator Warren as well, a huge supporter. But I also want to thank federal legislators, including Rep. Moulton, who represents this area, and all of our federal legislators who fight for the maximum amount of money for this program nationally. We would also like to extend a big thank you to the leadership in our own state, because we continue to go to you for our needs, and there are times where the federal money is just not enough, and you always come through, and we're very proud to have you represent Massachusetts, and we just might be knocking on your door this year, so just a little warning. And so we would also like to give a big shout out to the governor's office, to Amy, thank you so much for coming. The AG's office, Julian, thank you so much. And of course, the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. Ed, I don't know what we'd do without you. I actually have a cell phone number, and you know, Ed is wonderful and his staff, so please know how much you're appreciated. And because of the partnership, we do serve thousands of households each year. And without that partnership, we wouldn't be able to do that. So before we leave today, I want everyone to take 3 giveaways from this. Number 1, as Margie mentioned, and Amy, the guidelines are super generous. These are clearly for people who work, or you are working and you're laid off, you're on workers' comp, people who slip through the cracks. This could be the program for you. For 4 in the family, again, over $94,000 annually. For a single person, it's over $49,000, and for 2 people, it's over $64,000. So please, don't say this isn't for me, it's for low income. That's the reason we took the L and the I off the program name of LIHEAP. Number 2, and someone also mentioned this, I think it was Margie, the fringe benefits for this program are huge. Okay, not only are we helping you pay your winter heating bill, but it opens the door for free weatherization services. We do an audit. We replace appliances that are not energy saving. We, you know, so many things in weatherization. So whether it be blowing in the insulation or changing out the inefficient light bulbs, the shower heads, you know, please take advantage of this program. Another huge benefit is the discount rate. Huge. You know, the minimum that someone would get is 25% from, it fluctuates from a utility company to utility. So right now it's between 25 and 42%. However, as the governor's announcement just came through, you know, one of the utilities, National Grid Electric, is going toward a tiered discount in the spring or early summer of 25, and some people will be getting up to 71% off their bill. This is huge, and it's going to be a tiered. So please, again, and this isn't just during the heating season, it's all year long. So please encourage people to apply. And then finally, please apply, apply, apply. Don't say this isn't for me. Let someone else who needs it more. There's enough money. We want to show the federal government that we in Massachusetts have a need. We have people who are eligible for this, and we want to see it come to Massachusetts, this money. So again, I believe Margie said there's 3 easy ways to apply. Of course, you can go to any community action agency and apply in person. You can use the super duper online portal, which is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and the information can be translated into multiple languages. And if none of those work for you and you want to do something by phone, you know, there's phone numbers on all the websites as well. So please, you know, access the information. We hear all the time, the best advertising is word of mouth. So if everybody leaves here and tells a friend or a family member, and it just trickles down, we'll get our numbers up. So finally, I would just like to thank Laura and her team for being the host today. Again, I would like to thank the governor's office. A special thanks to Kathleen. You did a great job, honey. Mario and Lisa, I can't say enough about Council on Aging. You are like godsend. Through the whole state, all the agencies really have partnerships and depend on the Council on Aging. Thank you so much for everything you do. And a special thanks to our vendors. There are times where you have to wait for your money, so we appreciate the patience that you have with us. And again, we are so glad that you could take the time today. And with that, that is the end for today. And everyone have a great day.